There's a massive amount of interest in the Beatles, and there always has been ever since the first release of the records. With compact disc coming along, there's going to be a renewed interest.
Hello and welcome. If any of you saw my previous video, you would have noticed that I showed a selection of albums from the 1980s. And for this video I am sticking with the same decade. In fact, it will be 1987. And that, my friends, is when we finally got the Beatles on CD. This was the first one, of course, Please Please Me. It's the back. Parlophone label. And so we'll just move forward. I'm just going to move through. I'm just going to show you the CDs. Simple as that. These are all the UK ones. This was the second album with the Beatles. Again, Parlophone. I'll quickly show you the inside. We didn't get a great lot of information, unfortunately. It was it could have been better, so we put it that way. Just a few notes, a few pictures. Could have been better, as they were as time went on. That is the CD. With the Beatles. Like I say, these inserts weren't fantastic. They didn't give you any new information really to speak of, but we were thankful to have the CD at the time. So moving on to number 3, Hard Day's Night. Possibly one of the best albums the Beatles made. I think it's up there in the top 4 or 5. It's up there. It's people say about the top Beatles albums being sort of Abbey Road or the White Album, but this is with those albums. I think this is fantastic. So moving on, Beatles for Sale. Again, this was originally on the Parlophone label. Parlophone there. Quickly open up. Familiar, that was the originally on the album, on the vinyl. So again, nothing new in the liner notes. Moving forward a bit more, we've got Help. Still on the Parlophone label. Help. Of course, these are all fabulous albums, you can't deny that. Rubber Soul, sort of starting to get better now. Starting to get more studio based. Rubber Soul, there we go. Okay. Now, some consider this to be the finest album, or the best. Certainly up there. Revolver. It was still on the Parlophone label at this point. There we go. Of course, there's no additional tracks, just the original track listing. Now the next one was slightly different. It was packaged a bit different and a bit better. Now this was the slip case there. Now we've got a booklet. Don't drop it. There's a few photographs, a bit more information, I suppose. It's a bit more in keeping with Sgt. Pepper. This actually was the 20th anniversary of Sgt. Pepper being released. And I actually bought this one before I owned a CD player. So in actual fact, this is the first CD I ever bought, but I couldn't play it for a while. I thought I need to buy this just in case it was a limited edition and you couldn't get one later, which obviously you could. I was a bit worried just in case. So there we have it, Sgt. Pepper. Parlophone again. Next we have Magical Mystery Tour. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this was never really in the list of UK albums. I know it is now, but I don't consider this to be as a part of the Beatles discography, because in the UK we had a double EP. Now that is what I call Magical Mystery Tour. This is just a compilation album as far as I'm concerned, but it's great nevertheless. I know people in other countries love this one, so I can't argue with that. So let's move forward. Now, the White Album. Now this one was the first album to come out on the Apple label. It's a double album. Again, little or no information what we already knew. Got the booklet of course there, so I'll just have a quick flick through. It's photographs from the big poster and also the 4 images what we got with the original album. Portions of the poster. We got the lyrics too. So it's a nice little booklet that. So it was getting better. The earlier ones, it didn't seem to have much. They didn't have this type of booklet inside. It was just like a few pictures and what have you. But this one, yeah, I was glad to get this at the time. It's actually got a number there. I don't know if that actually means anything. Maybe not. So it's in a fat box. So there we go. The Beatles, the White Album. Okay. Right, we're getting towards the end, aren't we now? Yellow Submarine. Soundtrack. Some cracking songs on this one. Hey Bulldog. It's worth buying this one for Hey Bulldog. And Only a Northern Song. And It's All Too Much from George. Great album on the A side. Not so great on the B side, but still okay. It's George Martin and the orchestra playing themes from the movie Yellow Submarine. Okay, right, let's move on. Not far from the end now. We have the wonderful and fabulous Abbey Road from 1969. Now we're on the Apple label. Now I've just noticed this one, it's upside down, so I'll just need to flip that way to show you the back. Oh, is it that way? There we go. Sort of. That way. I don't know what's up and what's down. But anyway, it's the wrong way around, look. Right, Abbey Road. So, we're still back to the flimsy inner, whatever you call it, inner sleeve, inner, whatever. Call it, that thing. It meant like a senior moment. So, yeah, so that didn't contain much information at all. Abbey Road. Right, we're coming up to the last one now. Can you guess what the last album is? I wonder what's coming next. Of course, it's Let It Be. There we go. Took our price on there. It should be £16.99, but I got it in the sale for £9.99. What a bargain. And again, got a flimsy sleeve there. Not giving much away. A few photographs and the song titles, which are there anyway on the back. So there we go. Those are the CDs what came out from 1987 onwards. And I was very, very pleased to have those at the time. But now they just sit on the shelf. Never mind. Most of them do anyway. But before I leave you, I've still got 2 more to show you. And that is Past Masters Volume 1 and Past Masters Volume 2. Now these 2 CDs compiled any song what was missing from the Beatles catalogue onto CD. So they were quite a good idea. But we could have done with a better cover. You know, not really in keeping with what we know from the Beatles, are they? Those pictures at the front covers could have been better. Could have put a bit more effort into the design of the covers. But nevertheless, the music was good, and that's all we care about really, the music. Right, that concludes this little video, and I hope you stay through till the end. And I knew you knew what was coming all the way through, but it's just nice to show a selection of CDs by the Beatles from the 1980s. Okay, we'll catch you again later, and bye for now. Bye bye.